Gambling practically writes its own movie script. High stakes, surging adrenaline, split-second decisions, and sometimes a pit boss watching your every move. It already sounds like a blockbuster, and Hollywood has always known it. Casinos and gambling have been used as atmosphere, as narrative fuel, and sometimes as the entire plot, backdrops for tension, obsession, risk, and collapse. Today we're ranking the best casino movies through the lens of us, professional gamblers. Not because they're accurate, most of them absolutely aren't, but because they capture something real. The pressure, the mindset, the moments that feel uncomfortably familiar if you've ever played seriously. Some picks will be obvious, others, especially the last one, probably won't be. Grab the popcorn, ninjas. It's showtime.
Welcome to Ninja Gamblers, where we break down the smartest strategies for roulette, blackjack, craps, and baccarat. If you're into table games, join our free community. You'll get all the charts we use, exclusive content, discussions with fellow ninjas, and member-only bonuses. It's free, private, and takes 10 seconds to join. Link in the description and first comment.
We'll start with a movie that doesn't technically take place in a casino, but whose entire story revolves around the darker side of gambling. Mississippi Grind came out in 2015. It's about two gamblers who blow through their cash at the tables and racetracks, then team up for a road trip down the Mississippi in hopes of hitting one big score that fixes everything. Thing is, it never does. As a gambler, I can't help but feel seen by this movie. It gets the delusion and the superstition that have ruined countless bankrolls. Watching Curtis and Jerry chase a win they can no longer even define is exactly why this movie hits hard. It's relatable in a way none of us really want it to be, because it understands that sometimes we gamble because we're desperate, not disciplined. Which, of course, is precisely what we should avoid. That's the whole point of our Roulette Mastery Playbook, by the way, to teach you methods of betting and managing your money to maximize profits, but most importantly, controlling your game and avoiding spiraling out. If you're curious, you can check it out in the video's description. If only Curtis and Gary had access to it in Iowa, right? Now for a movie that does take place in the casino, as well as made half the world think they could bluff their way through a $10,000 buy-in, Casino Royale. Side note, please don't do that. This film dropped in 2006, rebooting James Bond with Texas Hold'em. Bond enters a high-stakes tournament hosted by Le Chiffre. Bond's job is to beat him at the table to bankrupt him and save the world. Easy enough if you ignore the poisoning and the torture. While Casino Royale won't be winning any rewards for accuracy anytime soon, it is an undeniably entertaining movie that captures the nail-biting suspense of a poker game. Why would Bond have benefited from bankroll rules and a sensible betting strategy? Sure, but then again, stick to 2% of your roll doesn't pair well with a tux and an Aston Martin. Bond could have also benefited from the ninja community, but it's too late for him. It is not, however, too late for you. Join the ninja community now to receive daily tips on playing roulette, as well as free, downloadable charts and strategy guides. Be better than Bond, and click the link in the description to join. Anyway, on to the next. We couldn't talk about casino movies without mentioning The Hangover, could we? Sure, it's not emotionally poignant like Mississippi Grind or loaded with badassery like Casino Royale, but The Hangover has its own type of charm, like a cringy charm, where you call your friend group the Wolf Pack. This casino movie follows three friends who wake up from a wild Vegas bachelor party with no memory of the night before. They must retrace their steps to find the missing groom before the wedding. So why is it on this list? Purely for the shenanigans. The Hangover displays the most extreme version of what your Vegas bachelor party could be, cranked up to 100. It's the reason every bride-to-be since 2009 is wary of sending her fiancé to Vegas. And to be fair, they do spend a good chunk of time in the casino. Remember when Alan shocks the group by counting cards to win the cash they need to get Doug back? Silly stuff, I know. It's not deep. There is pretty much zero serious gambling content there, but it's had a major impact on how we view Vegas. And that's why it earns its spot. Speaking of counting cards, this next movie takes the skill far more seriously than Goofy Allen doing trigonometry in his head. That movie is 21. 21 tells the real story of a group of MIT students who get recruited into a card-counting team and start raking in obscene amounts of money from Vegas casinos. The reason this casino movie is so popular among professional gamblers is that it's actually pretty accurate, at least compared to the usual Hollywood nonsense. For one, 21 is based on a true story. Second, many of the tricks they show are used by real card counters. The signaling system, the bet spreads, the cover plays, that's how real advantage players operate. Teams like this existed, and they really did walk out of casinos with 5 figures stuffed in their socks. So, is everything accurate? Of course not. A lot of the drama is pure Hollywood seasoning. But pro gamblers respect 21 because it gets the essentials right. Card counting is hard work. And the pit bosses are watching. You can even get kicked out if you win too much. We have a video about that, in case you're curious. The link is on the screen. For the next casino movie on the list, I remind you yet again that greatness and accuracy don't necessarily sit at the same table. But an all-time great casino movie understands something deeper than the mechanics of gambling or beating the house. And that's indulging in a radical fantasy, made even juicier for some by a blazer-laden Brad Pitt in his prime. That's right. My number 2 best casino movie is Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11 follows Danny Ocean, aka George Clooney, who recruits a squad of specialists to rob 3 Vegas casinos in one night. It's ridiculous, illegal, and impossible, which is exactly why it's fun. The plan revolves around stealing from a single vault supposedly shared by 3 casinos owned by Terry Benedict, the Bellagio, the Mirage, and the MGM Grand. All 3 casinos do exist, but anyone who's actually been to Vegas knows the truth. They're far apart, owned by different corporate groups, and absolutely do not share a vault. The setup makes no sense in reality, but as a fantasy of scale, elegance, and impossible coordination, it delivers exactly what it promises. A romanticized, hyper-stylish version of Las Vegas that turned the casino into a symbol of elegance, confidence, and controlled excess. And in doing so, it helped shape the modern aesthetic of casino branding itself. Also, casinos spend millions making sure professional gamblers can't get an inch of edge. They're brimming with surveillance, security, and pit bosses. So watching Ocean's crew stroll in and outsmart the entire operation is gamblers' wish fulfillment at its finest. So how about our next movie? Casino. Well then, surely you saw this one coming. It's in the name after all. Casino came out in 1995 and it follows Sam Ace Rothstein, a gambling mastermind who gets put in charge of running a Las Vegas casino, back when the mob still had VIP parking on the Strip. From a gambler's perspective, Casino is brutal, but it's painfully accurate about how the industry actually worked. The surveillance was real, as was the obsession with advantage players. Of course, none of that backroom torture is happening these days. HR would have something to say about that. But the glimpse into Vegas's dark past and the obsession with wealth and betrayal are why this movie lands so high on every pro gambler's list. Finally, let's reveal the most popular casino movie according to professional gamblers. And this one might not be what you expect. There are no cattle prods, no card counting, and no tuxedo-wearing secret agents. But there is tense, gritty poker. The movie is, you guessed it, Rounders. Matt Damon stars as Mike McDermott in this cult classic. After a brutal bankroll wipeout, he's pulled back into dangerous underground games when his friend Worm resurfaces in debt. So why do professional gamblers rank this one above every flashy Vegas blockbuster? Because this film gets it. Unlike Casino Royale, which shows wildly unrealistic bets and villain monologues, Rounders portrays the nuance of the game's mechanics, the disciplined bet sizing, the subtle tells, and the exact way your stomach drops when you make a hero call that turns out to be a catastrophic mistake. And it nails the psychology too. Worm's chaotic gambling addiction is a stark contrast to Matt's cool, level-headed restraint. And let's not underplay how much we gamblers love living vicariously through Matt Damon, skillfully cold-reading a mobster while firing off razor-sharp value bets. Partly because it's exciting, but mostly because it's believable. And that's why this movie rocks. Now, many more gambling films deserve a mention, but we had to make choices. Otherwise, this video would never end. One extra title worth highlighting is a new film, The Ballad of a Small Player. It stands out for two reasons: its unusually accurate portrayal of baccarat, and the fact that it's one of the very few major Western films set in Macau rather than Las Vegas. We've already done a full, dedicated video on this film and why it's so interesting from a gambler's perspective. You can find it on the channel if you want to go deeper. What do you think of this list? Do you think Rounders deserves to be number one? Let us know in the comments. We try to reply to everyone. Now, if you like playing instead of just watching, don't forget to join our community to get real-time tips on how to level up your table game strategy and skills. And if any of these casino movies inspired you to play, don't forget to always play smart, like a true ninja. See you next time.